What the fuck is that? Whatever we want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. What's up, guys? Corey Packer here. This is the E4 Explicit Podcast, where we talk about everything from A to Z, no matter what it is, movies, music, fucking whatever we want to talk about, we're going to talk about it. So this is a new podcast I'm trying to do. And my first guest ever is probably one of my best friends. He's one of my aces, Rocco Casazza. And this is Rock.
What's up, man? Corey, congrats on the new platform.
Yeah.
It's always good to have as many venues of expression as possible.
Yes,
so
sir. Yes,
definitely
sir.
give you props because, people don't put themselves out there like that. So you got the skill and you got the know-how. So let's get it, man.
Yeah.
I appreciate you having me on your inaugural episode of the podcast.
Man. Yeah, no, I think this is going to be tight. I think I'm just going to have a bunch of people,
Yeah.
from friends to people that I've worked with in business and film and whatever it is. I think I'm just going to have, an array of people, just talking about whatever, what I mean? It doesn't have to be like, so
Right.
I don't want to put myself in a box, you know what I mean?
No. You got to have like an eclectic way of just being able to be inspired by things, especially in America. We are a capitalist nation.
Yeah. No, yeah. We definitely gotta,
So as you know, there's all kinds of streams and ways to, get income in different ways. And again, for me, like, I just appreciate because I've always been able to want to express myself.
Man, I know, and we've always had like,
so
you put us in a room or not, like, no matter what we're doing, we're always just like either geeking out or like talking about something,
talking about
just,
some real shit.
Yeah, just talking
reminiscing.
About some real shit.
We're goofy as hell.
Yeah. So, I kind of want to talk. Today I think we brought out some classics. You got the Terminator. I got the Shining joint. So I think first episode I think is definitely suited for us, and I think it's proper to come, and do a movie.
Yeah, just
topic.
talk about films.
Yeah,
like
just talk about films.
Straight up film buff.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's what really kind of also brought us together. I know, most people know who I am, know who you are, all of our friends, but the people that don't, I've always loved movies as a kid, growing up, making little films in the neighborhood,
Blockbuster,
all that stuff.
All those little,
just growing up, just running around acting stupid with a camera, so, and that's turned into, a way that I pay all my bills, I get to travel the country, the world, and do all these things, and it's because of film and video. Right. So, that's kind of, I know, I could go back 10, 15, 20 years, us just going to the movie theater, geeking out, like just watching films.
Like I said, Blockbuster.
Yeah. Oh, my God, man.
DVDs went through all the mediums.
Yep. VHS, DVD, Blu-ray.
Well, yeah, because when we were growing up, we just had all the collections.
I know, we had thick collections.
Just thick collections. It was almost like a little competition, like come through.
It was
you got that special edition.
No, the sickest ones were the one of a kinds. What would you call them? Like
special edition.
Like special edition, like covers. I remember I had the Cloverfield joint.
Yeah.
The Cloverfield.
Yeah, I was jealous of that. I had the regular. But anyway, so that's basically our love of films. We always were friends before that. Yeah. It's just, I'm saying, like, the fact that people have the same just passion for storytelling, passion for being able to watch a movie, or even Corey's case, make a movie and have the components just all come together. Yeah. It's different than for not to be like too pompous, but there's different. A lot of people just watch a movie and they call it and with us, we sort of are able to break down the nuances and be able to explain sort of the different ways in which we think the movie works and doesn't work. And for one, I've always thought there's a difference between a film and a movie. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
100%.
Some people, like I said, I use film because being an art form, it's just, it's elevated beyond just, this is something to do for an hour and a half, 2 hours. But like for me, like I always, in my head, it's arbitrary, but I can always distinguish like a film from a movie to me.
No, I can. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
And I tell you what, I know you're the same way. I can never watch a film the same. Now that I know everything that goes behind it and how it's made, whatever, a film, movie, like whatever that is, I'm like ruined almost, where I'm like, like they do a 6 shot and I'm like, I know exactly how they did that. But you can totally tell a difference between like a film, like
I think
of it,
a work of art versus just something that's
just something made just
there
to
put in the butts in the seats, and
yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I can appreciate those too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah,
I'm not an elitist. Like the whole spectrum of things that I enjoy is like anything from all the garbage we used to watch. We used to watch what all the garbage movies like we used to enjoy and just laugh at. The Gary Busey films, like come on, Gary Busey,
Pinocchio's Revenge,
Gary Busey,
yeah. Leprechaun. Like all those blown ass movies that are classics and nostalgic for us are just like
we love them.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I mean there's a charm with like a B movie.
Yeah, and they're
not even B movies.
They're not even B. Yeah,
them joints are like Z movies.
Yeah, they're going to like not even Redbox.
Yeah, so
you
I
can't
mean,
even get them in Redbox. You got to find them on the low.
Exactly.
So I think that's like we can appreciate something such low quality and low effort than that, and then go up to something like
I mean, dude, we can discuss directors all day.
Yeah, directors.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like we both have so at the same time, like you have field experience. I just have straight up like a studious.
Yeah, no, yeah, and you've always been like that. You've always appreciated. I think you're more of an.
Well, we grew up like that. Like, not only we grew up like that when we got older, we had a solid decade of us just studying.
Yeah, no.
I mean, not even like we were sitting there like taking notes, but we just had a solid decade of me and you talking about.
Yeah, just
like the different, like I said, the components, the different, forms of production. So I feel like I kind of, in a way, was part of a catalyst that sort of made you think about a way of getting into that field.
Oh, for sure.
Because we were kind of like both like young, like the 2008 era when we just partied at the house. And we just threw bangers all the time, and it was basically like we were in college.
Yeah.
Without the schoolwork, just some meager jobs. But we did what we did. We had fun. We had all the people over until we got a little notice on the door. For too much
April Fools, dude.
Shout out Jay Kelly,
the
original one, the original.
The OG
the least dude.
Yeah.
But anyway, like so, that was one of those things where I know I've always, Corey and I have always had a developed passion for how to tell stories and making memorable imagery and just writing characters that you can appreciate. So that's, I guess, that's what
Calypso's Journey. Yeah, remember that joint?
What?
You don't know about Calypso's Journey?
No, I don't.
Nah, good. That's a good thing.
I don't.
I wrote like a script on my computer. I can't believe I'm even saying this right now. I wrote a script on my computer.
Yeah.
Remember that compact joint I used to have in like 2000? Like, man, this is like right after Lord of the Rings came out. Literally, I just copied Lord of the Rings and I called it Calypso's Journey. Yo, only like Nick found it on my laptop and
did he?
Like, fried me for like decades.
Did he really?
Yeah, I can't believe I just even said that actually. Like that's so embarrassing. But it's just funny because I know I copied it, but it was like I still was trying to like.
So what?
Yeah, no, everything's copied. I'm just saying it was just funny. I wish I had it so you could read it and geek.
Later down the line,
but,
I'm definitely gonna.
I'm definitely not making Calypso's Journey though. I'll tell you that right now.
Hey man,
it's terrible. Anyway, all right. So I'm gonna ask you some questions.
All right,
because I want to.
Sounds good.
And it's not trivia and shit. It's just like I just want to know your idea and stuff like that. Because everybody that's watching and listening, thinks differently about movies, and most of the people that are listening or watching this stuff don't understand or even want to understand or have to understand how we even see
our minds.
Yeah, it's like we're like
our minds are.
Really.
We're like we're eccentric people. So
yeah, but it's like
sometimes a glimpse into
I almost wouldn't even want people to kind of know it because, like I said earlier, it ruined me almost where I can't sit down and enjoy a movie. I'm like, damn.
You're talking about you being trained in it.
Exactly, like my trained eye of like, like that composition, that this. That
also
the color,
when you see so many movies, like you just are so used to the tropes and you're so used to what's being repeated.
Exactly.
That in that sense too, you're just kind of like disenchanted of like, obviously all stories stem from like the same sort of core things. So like you said, everything's been done before. All the theme, it's just a way of how you present it.
Yeah,
differently.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think So, and that's why people have their favorite directors and their favorite genres because they're all the same. They're just told in a different way.
Exactly.
So, so one of my questions is, and it's kind of probably a long-winded question and a long-winded answer I'll get, but the big movies coming up, right? There's 22 movies or about to be 20. This is the 23rd movie, I think, of the Marvel series, right?
Is it 23?
I think because they're doing AMC is doing a 22 movie.
Oh, jeez,
59 hours.
Some stank ass dudes. Yeah. He's about to just be chilling
at home though.
Oh, at home,
not AMC, like the channel.
Oh, okay, the streaming service.
Yeah, not like
that's a whole nother avenue to talk about, like, streaming services.
Shit.
But anyway,
but yeah. So, like, why do you think DC and Marvel, like, why can't DC get it right? First off, like Marvel since 2008 with Iron Man and Jon Favreau, fucking, and most people might not know, Jon Favreau is what's his name, the butler, from Iron Man. Whatever, isn't it? The butler who plays in Iron Man is the director of Iron Man 1 and 2, and like the Jungle Book. And Jon Favreau, he started this. Do
you mean the AI thing?
No, Jon Favreau.
I was about to say that's Paul Bettany or whatever.
No, I know that is, but that's Jon Favreau is from Swingers, but he's the one who started the first. He directed the first Iron Man and the second.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
A lot of people don't know that, and he's like in it too. So people might not think he's that serious. So anyway, he set the tone for what it needs to be.
I love the first.
It's so good. Second one too. Third one's trash. But like, what I'm saying is, even the third one is better than like Batman versus Superman. Right. Is better. Like, I think, and here's my 2 cents on why. And it's my thing is directors.
Okay.
For me, because if you look at all the DC movies that kill it, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and what's the one that just came out? Or Shazam. It's supposed to be really good.
Yeah.
Right?
I barely know about that one.
James Wan.
Yeah.
Saw, Insidious. He's a great filmmaker. Fast and he's really good.
I didn't even want to give Aquaman a shot, to be
I didn't either, because we're so ruined
you.
About DC. But why do you think DC can't get it right when Marvel is just fucking killing all the time, no matter what? Every year a blockbuster comes out, and then they keep having to redo Batman, keep having to redo Joker, having to, they're having to keep
same recycled characters,
exactly,
different iterations,
exactly.
Of
and is it because they don't have as much superheroes or as much? You know what I mean? Like, is it? It's not a big universe like Marvel.
Well, see, I have seen, I think, every Marvel MCU movie. I've seen them all. DC, I've seen like pretty much all of them. Like I said, I didn't even want to give Aquaman a shot because, like I said, some of the, like I was telling you kind of briefly about, it's just like it's just a green screen with like shallowed, like the characters don't have as much heart as the Marvel characters. As likable. Like, you start caring about. I was never a Captain America fan. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't really read comic books, but I knew all about mythologies of comic books because of my uncles and everything. So I've known about all these characters for a long time, even though I never read comics, necessarily at all. But, the fact that Captain America become somebody to me that was an awesome character, and before I was like, oh, he's boring, he's like the goody two shoes. Yeah. Superman obviously is the goody two shoes, like do no wrong person, even though they're on a different level. But I just think they did a good job of making sure that they could flesh out all those different characters, and as different as like the tones were for all these different kind of stories, they managed to meld it together.
Do you think well, first off, I think the actors who play the characters of Marvel are literally spitting images of the comics.
Right.
Like Iron Man looks like Robert Downey Jr. literally. It's like when you see Wolverine, when you see Hugh Jackman play as Wolverine, there's no one else on the planet that's going to play or should or ever play.
I think Tom Hardy would be a good
Tom Hardy might be good.
I've always thought that.
But just the look. Like, he literally looks like Logan. He literally looks like Wolverine. Like,
yeah, but see.
Literally.
Okay, so like I said, my uncle, he never liked Hugh Jackman in the role because he
Cardinal said, out there, that's weird.
Because anyway. Cardinal,
yeah,
he never liked Hugh Jackman because he's like, oh man, Wolverine's supposed to be like 5'3", like
They made him look short.
I mean,
the movie,
But as far as DC goes, that's basically what you were asking about.
Yeah. So
I just can't, when I watched the movie, that's why I didn't even see Aquaman. Like, I saw the commercials, the trailers, whatever.
The trailer looks sick.
But all it was to me was just a CGI, like,
true,
splooge fest just coming at you in all these neon colors. I'm like, why would I want to watch that? It's not interesting. And even though, Marvel has obviously lots of green screen and CG effects, it's just like the biggest sort of set pieces of the Marvel movies don't just seem like it's a fake ass like flat.
They make it seem like it's a real environment. That's for sure. Bring it a little closer to you.
You know, like I watched, what was it? If you watch like Justice League.
Oh, that was so bad, bro.
It's like the end of, they're just, and Aquaman, that's why I had no interest in it. It's just like there's nothing organic in the frame besides like the actor.
Yeah. No,
and that just ruins it for me.
Yeah. And especially they're underwater, so what can you can't, you know what I mean? Like,
I just had no interest, like I said, and even though like I saw Wonder Woman, I thought Wonder Woman was good.
Yeah.
But again, she just didn't have like that much charisma.
Yeah.
None of them have charisma. Like, it's just a bunch of like lame, passive aggressive jokes from like Ben Affleck that are like,
yeah.
I just, I couldn't get down with it. Suicide Squad, I thought was like the worst movie.
That was probably one of the worst movies I've
ever
seen.
That was definitely like the worst movie that year.
I'm so glad Hardy skipped that to be in The Revenant. He was supposed to play the Australian.
Oh, yeah.
And then Leo's like,
that was probably one of the worst movies I've seen in a long time.
That was really bad. And I can't believe they're making a second one.
I think once that movie came out, I was like,
what's going on?
Like, I love me some Batman. Don't get me wrong.
That's what I'm saying,
like, he's a great character. Like, Batman.
They're ruining Batman I don't want them to ruin Batman. They kind of already did for me with Affleck. I mean, I was kind of excited because when Joker came out, when they announced Heath, we were all like, we knew he would do good, but we were like still like, I don't know. Mm-hmm. And then he killed it. So that's how I felt about Affleck. I'm like, yo.
Just to let you know, that's what we did. We followed pre-productions for movies,
yeah. Reading
like real nerds for what, like a couple years before they came out.
Oh yeah, we got to know everything before they hit, so we know.
Long time ago, like before that was like super trendy.
But like, think about like Affleck, kind of like just. I don't know, man. He's got the jawline for it, but he just.
I hated his costume.
He's like fat.
He's like.
Yeah, he was like. Yeah, he's like all like. He's like swole. I'm like, yo, you're like, I don't know. It's just Batman versus Superman. I literally fell asleep in the theater.
That wasn't quite as bad as Justice League.
It's too dark for me. I think they try to go too serious and too real life.
It wasn't a good movie. Like I said, none of them are good. Like, I thought Man of Steel was a good movie.
Man of Steel was probably the best one. Zack Snyder, but he also did Batman versus Superman, which was fucking terrible.
Like I said, I didn't think I was just convoluted.
I don't know. I just think also
Jesse, what's his name? Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, it's fucking.
That was like the worst casting.
Why would they ever do that?
Yeah.
Anyway, do you think that it's because they're trying to catch up with Marvel and be like, yo, we gotta do something now?
Exactly. They wanted to try to use the same business model and say, oh, we can replicate this because we have a super team of people that are identifiable like pop culture icons. So they want to do the same thing, like, oh, we can expand this universe. They can kind of piggyback on that, and it just didn't work. It didn't work. And the same thing happened when Universal. They had plans to do like a dark universe. So, for instance, all the Universal classic characters. They were trying to make a shared universe, which is why they had the Wolfman joint, the Mummy, the Tom Cruise one, which was terrible.
Oh my god!
They attempted to do that. That's why they had Russell Crowe as Dr. Jekyll. They were trying to create their own universe, and they had to scrap it because they're like, first off, nobody cared about the Mummy movie.
Yeah, I can't believe they brought that back.
And they really were trying to say, so it, like I said, it's Hollywood just is a bunch of repetition. I mean, I don't work in Hollywood, but I pay attention. It's just like what a business model will work, they're going to try to replicate it. And it didn't work, with DC because they made terrible movies and it was just entire green screen, ugly, like just regurgitated.
Oh my God, it was so bad.
Just all nonsense, just bad movies, you know what I mean? And to be honest, like, I'm not trying to be like, oh yeah, every Marvel movie is great.
No, they're not.
Because to be quite honest, like, even the best Marvel movie, I think, is like not one of the greatest movies like ever.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and there's a lot of them are just very middle ground. Like, they're good.
Entertaining.
They're entertaining.
That's what they're supposed to be. They're supposed to be entertaining and make a lot of money.
Right. And they craft the mythology of the people. So that's why it worked with them. So when it comes to each big event movie, you kind of already have a vested interest in them because they kind of already went through struggles as a team.
Yeah.
And that's why
followed them.
That's why it's so popular. You know what I mean? Yeah. And a lot of these characters like nobody knew who Thanos was.
I know.
Like I said,
a lot of people knew.
My uncles put me
on. But the
people
who now
and now that character is part of
the main
American cinematic history now.
Yeah, no.
You see memes.
Yeah,
everybody knows who Thanos is. Like when I was a kid, a very few select people like us that liked, all that.
Would
all that.
know, yeah.
Yeah.
Would know that that's like the...
Like Frail Diggity. And
yeah, Frailty, all those guys, yeah.
Yeah, like Ryan and Nick, obviously. So, yeah, it's interesting how things become part of the mainstream that's going to get, passed down.
Yeah.
For like just making a character that's that lasting.
I know, yeah.
And not to mention like hundreds.
Yeah.
So to be able to create pop culture icons is really, it's inspiring. So that's kind of what we drew inspiration from as far as like wanting to write our own stuff.
Yeah.
I've written my own stuff, haven't produced it. You've produced a lot of stuff. You've, made some short films. So being able to draw from just the regular story, be able to learn just like story arcs for people. You know what I mean? Like once you can just sort of understand how a plot works and how to structure it.
Yeah. And characters and all that shit.
Right. So there's obviously a lot to sort of digest, and that's why it's an artistic medium.
Yeah.
So
all right. So let's get to the good stuff. So
all right.
What I'm going to ask
all
you,
right.
I'm going to ask you basically kind of like a round off of like,
okay,
maybe like 3 questions or just 3 kind of things.
Just straight off the top.
Just straight off the top.
Straight off top.
All right.
Just whatever comes to mind.
Exactly. Yeah. So all right. What's your favorite movie of all time? Of all time, and you only can pick one. Man. Gun to your head.
That's a crazy ass question.
It is a crazy ass question.
Come on, dog.
I know.
All right.
Okay, fine.
All right.
Want me to do genre?
No, I mean, yeah.
That's probably better because all right. What's your favorite sci-fi film of all time?
Sci-fi, The Terminator, probably. Yeah.
Why?
Because what it did is like a lot of the great films from like the horror era, like Terminator is basically a horror movie. It's a sci-fi movie, but it's a chase movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's a very small scale scope. It's basically only has a very small handful of characters. But just to have an atmosphere like that, to create sort of this time travel paradox that someone that's not even born yet that's going to save mankind.
Yeah.
His father had to come back from a war-torn, completely hopeless future and just having to battle this cyborg. And I just think it's an amazing concept. It's not, I mean, the details are amazingly written. James Cameron, he did an amazing work, of sci-fi horror is what I pretty much consider it. It's a chase, it's like if a slasher were to chase people. However, it is certainly like one of the sci-fi classics.
Oh yeah, it's definitely.
Shout out to Aliens.
Yeah. You said shout out to Aliens, Ridley.
Yeah, I mean, I know what one of your favorite sci-fi, Old Jungle.
Oh, Predator.
Get to the chopper.
Oh my god, dude, sci-fi probably.
Yeah.
But not even probably Predator's my favorite film. Don't you think that
might
of course.
Be okay.
It is mine.
Just from what I, kind of what I know.
Oh yeah, just growing up.
So the similarities of those two things is the fact that they're, like I said, they're small scale.
Yeah.
They're almost not isolation because the Terminator's in Los Angeles.
Yeah, but there's only a handful of people.
But no, there's only a few people that are privy to the situation.
Yeah.
So it's a very contained story. It's very simple in nature. The details are cool. There's some sort of leaves to the imagination, especially with Predator.
Yeah.
But it's a small scale, film.
Yeah.
It has a commando squad rescue team. And they're in the jungle, and they're isolated, and that's, And
they got to kill whatever is trying to kill them.
Sometimes simplicity is most effective.
It really is. And most of the movies that we like that are so good are exactly that.
Yeah. Like Halloween is like that. The Thing.
Yeah.
Like Classic. That's probably one of my favorite horror movies as well. I mean, you could sort of...
Sci-fi horror.
Yeah. It kind of teeters on that line. So I love The Thing as well. So like both...
But Terminator, though, in itself is incredible. Just the story.
It just has the emotion. the emotion.
I mean, of course, and Arnold is just like
the score. I mean it's Lord. Just one of those. It's one of those movies that the scale is huge. I didn't mean to misspeak about the scale.
No, it's huge.
But I'm saying as far as.
But if you broke it down,
it's not the story.
100%.
It's a very self-contained story.
Very
However,
simple.
the repercussions
are
obviously the apocalyptic. So just the emotion and just the way it was acted, I just thought it was had a gritty 80s feel to it.
It's unfortunate that they're really fucking ruining.
I don't even care anymore.
I don't care. After
I'll
two,
probably watch it, but the James Cameron ones are the only ones.
They're the only ones that matter.
Yeah.
So, all right. So let's do comedy. What's your favorite comedy of all time?
Oh, probably Original Friday.
Really?
Yeah, probably.
Oh man, all right.
It's
I,
all right.
I can appreciate that.
I probably would say the original Friday.
Damn, all right.
Dumb and Dumber's up
mine.
there. Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber. Like just
I would say
when you go back and watch Dumb and Dumber,
it's still hilarious.
You're just like you're like, yo, that's fucking hilarious.
Yeah. And it's 90s, so same thing with Friday. They have that dating thing, but they're dated, but at the same time at work, I'm constantly quoting Friday.
Oh, dude,
and the funny thing, what weaves into what we were just talking about, I quote Terminator all the time.
I know, yeah.
And Friday all the time. So it's just funny how it always pops up. So I guess that would be the most accurate Friday. I mean, come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, bro.
All right, so Terminator Friday. What's your favorite horror, like true horror film? One that like, not that you were like, man, I can really appreciate the artistic value of this. It made you fucking scared. Like that kind of horror film. Because there's a ton of horror films that we watch that are nostalgic that we watch, we're like, oh, we can appreciate
like the
that.
cheesy slasher ones.
Yeah, exactly. Or the ones like the newer ones like The Conjuring that are like, them joints scare the shit out of me.
See, but I mean, concept is scary.
Demons and stuff like that scare me.
Visually, I just can't get scared about CG anything. That's why like...
So then what horror film would, like, has you ever been scared of a horror film?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah, because when I was a child, I had a very active imagination.
Sure.
You know, probably like...
Yeah.
We sort of... We're similar in that regard as we have, you know, kind of a, you know, eccentric wired brain. So we just always kind of had big imaginations. I don't know. There was a few that... Well, I guess like the original, the It miniseries, it didn't necessarily scare me.
Yeah.
But it had that long lasting effect.
Yeah.
Where like, for instance, like, that year that we start like delinquency, young.
Running around the town.
Sorry, Mom.
Yeah.
When we started drinking and shit when we were younger.
Yeah.
And we'd kind of sneak out and do those like delinquent things.
Yeah.
But I remember even then, that was shamefully like right before high school.
Yeah.
But, I remember walking back, and even then, like, oh shoot, I'm not walking by that drain.
No. Even today, when I see a sewer, I'm like waiting for a red balloon and a clown to be like,
I'm not.
Yeah, not
walking by that drain. So I guess like the impact of it, you know what I mean, is something that's always just gonna stand. I mean, obviously, it's not scary now; it's pretty cheesy and cheap.
Exactly. Yeah.
But there's just certain things about horror movies that are just long lasting.
100%. That's true. Yeah. I mean, back in the day, if you were around, like my mom, when Jaws came out, no one was going in the ocean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
well, the mystery of the monster is something that makes it much more effective.
Yeah. No. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I remember getting freaked out by that one Chucky movie.
Which one? The military joint?
No, the second one, where he has like the knife in his arm. At the toy factory.
Oh yeah, the toy factory. Yeah,
that creeped me out. I mean,
Chucky's scary as shit. It's a little doll that can, like,
and the way it moved.
The
way it moved was just like like I said, CGI probably would have looked like all fluid.
Yeah.
And the fact that they use puppets and animatronics, like it just like that's how I feel like a doll
would have been real in real life.
Not range of motion.
Nah, you're right. Yeah. No.
So
Chucky was scary.
I don't know.
As shit,
probably. I mean, it's very cheesy, but that second, for some reason, the end of the second one was kind of scary as shit.
Yeah, no, Chucky was scary as shit. That's like Nick's like favorite movie. That and Leprechaun, as far as scary wise.
But Leprechaun's a cheese fest.
But
when you're a kid,
it's hilarious.
Remember you walk in a movie store and there's all the horror covers are like just imprinted in your brain.
Pumpkinhead.
You know what I'm saying? No, but like you walk in and I can still visualize.
Of course, yeah.
Like those covers.
Yes,
like
it's fucking
Leprechaun.
terrifying. Yeah.
Yeah, and just all those. It's so hilarious. Like Jason Takes Manhattan.
Yeah.
Just because it's a very like lasting image, and that's what I like about horror movies is they have just the imagery is long lasting.
That's so true. Yeah. Even the music too.
Yeah.
Lasts forever. But anyway, all right. So Terminator. Your favorite is Friday, which is that kind of threw me
Come
off.
on, man.
It's funny. I love Friday.
What would you have thought? Like, we love Step Brothers, but that's our shit.
Yeah, that's new though.
I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like,
I think Dumb and Dumber for I thought, but no, Friday. It's you.
That's your preference. Friday's fine.
Pick Dumb and Dumber. Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, but it's funny because every time I watch Dumb and Dumber, I'm just like, this
is the funniest movie. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
and then you got what was it, Chucky, or do you want to do?
No,
you didn't really pick like
my
that.
favorite horror movie. You said which one? So the one that probably psychologically horror was I don't know.
Because they're not like For me,
okay, got it. Why? I'm so dumb. My favorite horror movie is The Omen. The original. Oh,
that shit's scary.
The original
joint, yeah.
Because again, like
that joint's scary.
Certain films have that long-lasting impression. So Terminator, there's that terror of humanity ending by this entity that doesn't give a shit about us. Yeah. Just knows that it's superior. That's it. So that's scary, obviously. Nuclear weaponry is always scary.
Yeah.
And you're talking about the Antichrist.
Yeah.
Like just as a film, removing what it's about, removing what it implies. It's a little kid who's,
murking sweaters.
The devil.
Killing people. Yeah, the devil. Yeah.
The devil.
Or devil.
Yeah, the devil, son.
Yeah, he's like... Yeah, he was scary as shit, that little boy.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah, because, I remember at the end,
that kid
after
is scary.
When he's in the church, he's like, Daddy, no.
Yeah.
And he just barely brings him off enough to not stab his ass with those motherfucking...
That movie was
daggers.
scary.
I mean, but like I said, the concept, it was great. It was made technically like Gregory Peck's in it.
No, it was fantastic. And
it's just very heavy hitting, you know. And I saw that when I was really young.
And you see a kid, you're looking at a kid, you're like, holy shit.
And I remember the very last shot of him smiling at the cemetery was just one of the scary.
Yeah.
That's honestly, that might have been one of the scariest things I've ever seen in a movie. Like as far as just the way it actually made me feel.
Yeah.
But I was young.
Yeah, but still, it's like obviously, like you said,
but it's a great movie.
Yeah.
It's great. I have the whole set. The second one's good too.
Yeah.
So I mean, just that idea of again the harbinger of the end of us.
Us, yeah.
And this is in a religious, spiritual sense versus a science,
nuke
technology,
and shit.
Blow shit up.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that
same shit.
That's my favorite. Like I said, Halloween.
They're all classics, but they don't scare you like that.
The Omen probably
is
conceptually
like
was something that had the
movie,
biggest impact on me, just because of what it implied.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. Cool. So, that was a fun ass discussion about movies, our favorites,
we do that anyway.
Yeah, exactly. So this is whatever. But so where can people, find you on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, whatever it is?
On Instagram, my handle is at Rock Digital, so it's ROC and then the _ digital. I throw up some kind of funny stories sometimes.
Yeah, your stories are always funny.
So I mean, so you can find me there, and Snapchat, the same thing, ROC _ digital.
All right.
So
you're not on Facebook or Twitter, right?
At Twitter,
I feel like you have a Twitter.
I think I do. Yeah, it's the same thing.
All right.
At Rock. Yeah, so
you got all the handles. My shit's always different. I can never get the same.
Yeah, I gotta get that Facebook rolling again, I guess.
I know you got to get it on there.
Yeah, follow me on Instagram and Snapchat. Yeah, follow.
He's fucking.
Yeah, but I appreciate you just letting me come through and hanging in the district. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. No, you were the first person I thought of when I was like, I gotta do a podcast. And shout out to Corinne for fucking coming up with the name. I'm not gonna lie.
Thank you, Corinne. Yeah, I do like that.
That was clutch. Yeah. Anyway, but cool.
I appreciate it, man. Yeah, it's about to be a lot of fun. Hopefully, you'll have me back.
Oh yeah.
And we can talk about whatever you want to talk about.
Yeah. No, thanks for coming. I appreciate it.
Absolutely, man. Yeah. Well, I'll see you next time.
All right. Cool.
All right.
So that was the very first episode of E4 Explicit Podcast. I'm Corey Packer, and we'll see you next time.